You're like looking up at me.
I thought you'd want to be like that. Give the viewers the perspective that you're taller than me.
I ain't taller than you.
Take you to the camera.
What's up, y'all? It is Mercedes.
And this is Brittany.
Stop with your weirdness.
Okay.
She's so fucking weird.
Okay, stop. I'm gonna fucking cry. Get that away.
Merce has the giggles. What's up, y'all? This is Mercedes.
And this is Brittany.
If y'all didn't know. We are back with another video, and we are going to be talking about our at-home inseminations. We have had a couple of people ask about it, so I guess we're going to talk about it.
Because in our earlier video about how we had baby Bo, we kind of just brushed over that at-home insemination, and we decided to make another video a little bit more in depth of how we did it through the process that we did it.
Yep.
I do want to put a disclaimer in. We are just moms who experience this ourselves. We're not doctors. We're not licensed in anything. We're not certified in anything. But this is just real life experiences that we have had and we faced. And we wanted to share with everybody else in case they had questions about it.
And at first it seems kind of hard to do. Like, a lot goes into it, but once you do it, it's so simple.
So this video is going to be specifically about how we did it, which means we used anonymous frozen donor sperm. Of course, there's other ways to do at-home insemination with live sperms and live donors, but our way, we did it with frozen sperm.
Yep. We got our little checklist here so we can hit all of our points that we need to get on track. Yeah, because we're all over the place.
Okay, so the one thing I want to say is if you want to have a baby, regardless if you're doing it at home, regardless if you're a same-sex couple, you need to track your ovulation. Even if you don't think that you have any kind of fertility problems, tracking your ovulation is going to help you pinpoint the time that you need to have sex or inseminate. I use the Pre-Mom app and ordered tests in bulk off Amazon because it was cheaper, and I tested dang near every day because my cycles were so irregular for like a year and a half. So definitely do that because that's the first step you need to do in order to time it right to get pregnant. Yes.
So, like we said on our, was it our very first video, right?
Yeah.
Our very first video, we used Cryos. It is a sperm bank online, and first thing you want to do is choose a donor.
So the way that we did it in the beginning is we went on cryosinternational.com or .org or whatever the heck it is. If you Google it, you'll be able to find it. And when you go to find a donor, you can actually narrow it down by your own preferences and filter it basically out, and it takes like, thousands of donors down to hundreds of donors down to tens of donors. And I think we narrowed it down to like 7 at one point, and we're like, okay, let's widen our search, stop being so picky. So that's nice to know if you want your baby or your donor to look like your partner or have similar features as your partner, such as like green eyes, brown hair.
I was looking into the athleticism part because I want our kid to be athletic. It ain't coming from her.
I got big brains, no brawn.
You do have the brains. You do. Choose who you want. You can go in there and it gives you all kinds of details about the donor. Some of them give adult pictures.
Some,
right?
yeah, some of them.
Yeah, so it's very, very minimal.
I've seen like 2.
Yeah, but it's just kid pictures of them when they were younger. They'll do a voiceover they'll say something. You can hear their voice. You can see their handwriting, education, genetics. They do genetic testing, so that's always good. All right, choosing the type of sperm. There's ICI, IUI.
So the difference between the two is one is intercervical
Yep.
insemination, another is intrauterine. So if you're doing at home, what you really want is just the intercervical. It's cheaper.
ICI, intracervical
insemination. Ready sperm, whatever. It's cheaper, and we recommend that because you don't need the IUI to do ICI if you're choosing to do it specifically at home. The IUI is what we used for our intrauterine insemination at the fertility clinic, where they actually went through the vagina, through the cervix, into my uterus, and popped the sperm in there. At home, all you're doing is going into your vagina and popping the sperm out and hoping that it swims and finds its way. So, step 1, track your ovulation. Ovulation. I didn't
ovulation.
Dang it. Step 1, track your ovulation. Step 2, choose a donor. Narrow it down as best you want, or if you just don't care, then you just don't care and go for the cheapest option if you want a kid that bad. We were almost there. So step 3, you're going to go through and you're going to see if they have the type of sperm that you need for your at-home insemination.
Also, you can choose the MOT level, which is the motility of the sperm, how well it is and how viable it is.
And how many are moving around, basically, is how we like to break it down.
They have like a MOT 5, MOT 10, MOT 20. MOT 5 is obviously the lowest. But, well, I think we got, a MOT 5 and a MOT 10 the last time?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can mix them around, whatever.
Okay, so step 4. Based off your ovulation cycle, you're going to time when to order your sperm. So I like to say, work backwards. So you see a trend in your, let's say, the 3rd week, you're ovulating of the month, right? So you're going to work backwards because you need to look up the shipping time and how many days it takes. Because you may order overnight shipping and it may not show up for another 3 days. Speaking from experience.
Especially when you live out in the middle of nowhere.
Yes. So time it as best you can. Pay attention to what shipping you're using. Look it up and see how long it might actually take. The time of day that you order it matters. Whether it's after 5, before 5, after 2, before 2. The day that you order it obviously matters. So you want to make sure you pinpoint it as best that you can based off your cycles and the pattern that you've discovered that your body is on. That way you guys can pinpoint it perfectly and hopefully have a baby after a couple tries, if not the first try. So I know it's also recommended, all the research that we have done, that you order 2 to 3 straws because you'll want to inseminate on your day before peak, if possible. If you pinpoint it that well and your cycles are that regular, you want to inseminate the day before your peak, the day on your peak, and the day after your peak according to your tests. Because
you don't have to, but it's recommended just for better possibilities.
It's just for, you're covering all your bases. If you happen to, if your test read wrong and you're actually ovulating a day late, you have that straw still to rely on. Because they say sperm can stay alive in your system for 72 hours, but I wouldn't trust it.
You do have to be home to
receive the package.
FedEx.
Yeah,
FedEx.
Sign off on it.
Yep. It's usually through FedEx. If you use Cryos, I don't know if you used anything else, but they give you all the details. Whenever you go in there to order, it tells you 1 to 2 business days, overnight, priority. And they also have the 7-day tank and the 14-day tank. And that gives you that much time that it'll still be frozen those 7 days. It'll still be frozen those 14 days. So, with her ovulation, it was so crazy, so erratic. We never knew when she was going to ovulate. So, we ended up, at first we started with the 7-day tank, but
it kept going to waste because for some reason I wouldn't ovulate for 7 weeks or something crazy.
Yeah.
So the 7 days wasn't enough. We started having to get the 14-day tank, which of course is more expensive, but it's worth it if you want a baby that bad.
Yep. All right, so when you receive your tank, you open it up. It comes with instructions inside the tank with the testing and the syringes, the sperm, everything is inside of there. It tells you exactly what to do. It even gives you pictures what to do. So
It's not hard at all as long as you follow the instruction booklet.
Gives you step by step on what to do, time you need to thaw it out, everything.
So even if you don't use Cryos, most places that ship sperm to you are going to have their own version of a step-by-step booklet. So definitely follow the instructions that are given to you that come with your sperm. So for Cryos, this is off the top of our head that we can remember. But you receive your sperm. Once you're ready to inseminate that day, you crack open the nitrogen tank and pull the straw out. It's a thin straw of sperm.
Set it down, let it thaw out for 15 to 20 minutes, and it's ready to go.
Do not put it in hot water.
Nope.
Do not heat it up in any way. You don't need to microwave it or anything crazy like that. Just set it out room temperature for 15 to 20 minutes.
And it'll thaw out. It'll be just fine. But then after that, you take scissors and you'll cut the tip of it off. It'll tell you which end. It has like a cotton thing at the end of it or something.
Almost like a stopper.
Yeah. You cut that off. You stick the syringe in it, and then you turn it upside down. It's kind of like a medicine, and you suck it out into the syringe. Once you suck it into the syringe, you're ready to go.
So whoever's going to be the carrier is going to get on the bed. You're going to elevate your hips by sticking a couple pillows up underneath them, almost like you're doing a bridge, if you know what I'm talking about, like yoga or a workout or a stretch, a bridge. So you're supported up underneath your hips and elevated that way. Your head is on the bed, your hips are above your head, essentially.
You can also put your feet up on the wall. So, like, put a pillow under your butt and put your feet on the wall.
Right. So after you do that, your partner will come in, or you yourself. And I like the partner because I can stick it in as far as they want. And
not as far as I want.
It'll only go so far. I mean, so
I was so nervous, y'all. Like, it's like, am I gonna hurt? Am I gonna poke her the wrong way?
Yeah, I was nervous too because I've never had.
But I mean, it's the tiniest little thing.
It's not even
smallest syringe.
It's in our other video we showed
our first video. Yeah,
I honestly don't know where it is now. But so once you're elevated, you're ready to go. Your partner will come and put the syringe into you, just like some other things, and then you're gonna press the plunger all the way down.
Turkey baste that thing.
And what we did is we left it in, leave the syringe in for like a minute or two, just to make sure whatever tiny cells of sperm that are left in that syringe have that opportunity to come out if there's anything left. Once you're done with that, after 1 to 2 minutes with the syringe still in you, plunger pushed, you can pull it out, set it off to the side, and the carrier is going to stay there for about 10 to 15 minutes. I stayed up there up to like 30 to 45 minutes.
At first you did.
I wanted it that bad. So I stayed there. It puts gravity on your side to encourage those sperm that have not been thawed out to find their way into and through your cervix to your uterus to find that egg.
Yep.
And then after that, you wait 14 days. 14 days probably at the earliest before you could take a test to see if you're pregnant if you don't have your period before then. I use the early response, first response, something like that, early something, and it worked for me after 10 days. It was a very light line, but it worked, and it showed that
was not with the at-home insemination, though.
No, but just in general for being pregnant. Okay, so to recap, step 1, track your ovulation. I recommend using an app. I used the Pre-Mom app, and it worked perfectly for me if my body would have cooperated. Step 2,
choose your donor, the one you want.
Step 3, you're going to choose the type of sperm that you want. If they only have IUI, that will work for your at-home insemination.
Yep.
It's just a little more expensive, but sometimes that's all they have in the donor that you want. So that's perfectly fine to use if that's all that they have.
Yep. We're on step 4. Time is a constraint.
Yes.
Time, when you want to order it, figure it out.
According to your cycle, backtrack the time that you're going to need to have that sperm delivered to your home in time for you to inseminate.
Yep. Whether that's 2 days before, 7 days before, 12 days before, because like we said, they have those 7-day tanks and 14-day tanks.
Give yourself enough wiggle room so you know you get it early, you get it when you think you're supposed to ovulate, and you have time after in case you ovulate late.
Yep. And the last step, step 5, follow your instructions that you receive. Super simple. So guys, if you like this video, we hope that you stuck around to the very end. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button, like this video, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.
Yes.
Peace.